Welcome to Reverse Sweep's final Champs review show. It's all said and done, and Atlanta FaZe are your champions for the year. I'm your host, Katie Bedford, joined by Minnesota ROKKR's Attach, Enable, and Pacman. And Enable, you were a little late. How are you feeling?
Good, I feel good. You know, I was watching a lot of matches this weekend. Tired me out. I
believe it. It's a lot. He puts in a lot of work for the show.
But I'm here now.
Well, let's take a look at the bracket and how FaZe made the march through winners to be able to lock it down. They played 14 total maps at Champs to be able to take it with some 3-0s to start things off and then a 5-3 victory over Toronto Ultra in that grand final. Dallas Empire falling short in 3rd place. OpTic not able to get it done either. But I thought it was a pretty good Champs. All things considered, there were some incredibly hype moments. People made some great plays, and well, those plays helped these teams secure the bag. Take a look, Atlanta FaZe, 1.2 million they are walking away from this Champs with, and nothing to blink at, 650,000 for Toronto Ultra for 2nd place, guys. So let's talk about your champions. Let's talk about FaZe. Attach, what did you see from them that you liked in this run at Champs? What was it like?
I think them losing at Major 5, which just set them up perfectly for Champs. That just like motivated them, wanted them to be disciplined and work that much harder for Champs. And then you just see how much work they put in, because they dominated New York, they dominated Dallas. They had a very close series with Toronto, but all that work just paid off and they ended up getting the dub. So those guys are just nasty.
You were one of the last teams to actually be able to beat them.
Yeah, they're lucky we didn't play them, and they're especially lucky Seattle Surge wasn't here.
Yeah, Nicky
Seattle
D's
Surge
not
wasn't
around.
here. Nicky D, like it would have been over for them.
Nah, it was. I mean, I knew that they were gonna win this event. No offense, Dill. I was rooting for you. You know, you had my heart, but my mind had them.
As long as we had the heart.
And you could just tell right from the beginning that something was different about them. Like they're very calculated, right? They don't really talk any trash. This event, all of them were just going crazy.
Yeah.
Like I saw Simp getting in everyone's face. And
Getting
I was
up,
like,
yelling, screaming.
I was like, damn, what got into him? But so you could just tell they had a different level of hunger. They wanted to prove to everyone that they are the best team, even though they would have been if they lost it. But that they are also a dynasty.
Well, that was funny that you mentioned that, because when I was talking to Simp about that very thing, he's not that guy. They changed the seating order of how they were sitting on stage. And Simp was then directly facing whatever player he would face on the other team. And he said that was a big factor for why he could directly see someone. So when he was making those plays or winning those maps, he was getting up and getting loud.
I would have lost full if I was on the other team. You lose a match, you get bodied, like 100-point club, and you just got sick. Just right in your face. Like,
just
come
standing
on, bro.
up right here, just.
That's literally like Michael Jordan. Just like, what are you supposed to say to that? You can't talk shit back.
I mean, I don't know if that had any effect, but it looked like he was happier playing, actually getting up and talking shit and having his fun.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole roster was incredible all weekend. aBeZy definitely, he earned his MVP. Just his ability to get those first bloods and all the searches was incredible. And
Cellium, though.
Cellium played really great towards the end of the final, and great all season, really. But I mean, I think it's about time that aBeZy got.
Yeah.
About damn time.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, you can give it to any one of those players at any times. Like, they're all gonna have their moments where they pop off. So it's just kind of like musical chairs. Whoever gets the MVP this event or that stage, it is what it is.
Well, it's kind of a testament, right? When you give it to one person on a team and people are like, but you could have also equally given it to Cellium or anyone else.
And honestly, if you're a real team, you really shouldn't care at all. Congrats. But we won. That MVP is just, I mean, you'll sit in your room.
Somebody's got to get it.
Yeah.
You still get the paycheck,
They're passing it around. As long as they win the tournament, that's great. MVP, you know.
If they would have done co-MVP, that'd have been cool with me too.
Yeah, I think everyone would have been like, we're fine with 2. No one would get
They
upset
could have
at
did
that.
a quad MVP, just give it to the whole square. Y'all deserve this.
Players of the year, just all 4 of them. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, they could have definitely done that.
Well, and same with like team of the year. I think a lot of people are like, why not Cammy instead of Dashy? There was a lot of names that I feel like might have been a bit more fitting.
Cammy did get snubbed.
He got snubbed.
Yeah.
It sucks.
But wasn't it a fan vote?
Yeah, so people started,
Oh, well, okay.
attacking Dashy like
Never
Dashy
mind,
did
if
something.
it's a fan vote.
It's fan votes. I mean, we know how it's gonna go. Like,
That makes
biggest
sense,
brand,
then.
biggest players. So.
Why didn't Scump get Team of the Year?
I don't know, he had a good Champs. He played well.
I mean, so had a solid year.
Scump was good all year,
yeah,
first
he
of all.
had a
That's what I'm
solid
saying.
year. He played
So
all
if it was
year.
just team vote, I was a legitimate question. I wasn't talking shit. I was just saying, like, if it's fan voted, Scump's gonna win. and he was also good.
I don't know
all
if
year.
it's a weighted thing, like a certain amount is fan vote, a certain amount is whoever else. But let's talk Attach. I heard a lot of people kind of discussing before Champs whether these teams save spots or save plays specifically for Champs. And we saw some stuff that brought up conversation. FaZe had a trophy spot, top laundry on Raid that was causing some consternation with people, but there was also Cellium's wallbang spot on Apocalypse that people hadn't seen before. So how true is it that these players, and you as well, kind of keep things in your back pocket?
It's definitely true. It's happening across all CODs for years, like finding a certain angle or just finding a nerd spot that can bail you out, because that Cellium spot on Apocalypse honestly probably won them that game, because I think he got that kill, they broke that hill, which is not an easy hill to break, and then he went on, what, like an 8, 9
He got streaks on that kill, I think.
He went like an 8 or 9 streak after that.
Yeah.
So like, if he doesn't do that spot and he just tries to run out and gun him, he might win it, maybe not, but yeah, that spot was incredible.
Yeah, I think it was one of those moments where you saw something and everyone in the crowd was like, that's new.
Yeah.
None of us have seen that before, but they are champions. So on the talk of Dynasty, Attach, what do you guys think? Because even some of the players on the team were kind of waffly on whether they thought they were a Dynasty or not.
Yeah.
Do you think they're a Dynasty?
Yeah, they're a Dynasty. Because what? They've won 4 events this year out of the 5. And one of those being Champs. That was the thing OpTic was doing every year. Like, they were winning most events, but they would lose Champs. They finally won Champs, and that cemented them as a Dynasty, as Courage said. So, I mean, they've won pretty much all the events, and they won Champs, so they're a Dynasty.
I agree. I mean, I put the tweet out, and I will say their team is kind of different just because, like, Arcitys, aBeZy, Simp, team in Black Ops 4. But then they picked up Cell for MW. Arcitys is obviously on Chicago. And then now they're all back together. So it's not, I guess, as fluid as when you look at Complexity and OpTic, where they had Clay, and then they just went to Karma. Or they had Nade, and they just went to Karma again. Wow, of course he was on both of them. But like, these guys, like the core 3 has played together for a while. They now have 2 chips, have 2 absolutely dominant seasons in MW and Cold War. They obviously didn't win Champs last year, but then they get it done this year. It's like, as a core, Arcitys, aBeZy, and Simp, they have 2 rings. No other core in the dynasties has 2 rings together. So like, I feel like you just gotta put respect on their name, even if you want to say they've only really been together for 1 year. They have experience with each other.
This 1 year is a Dynasty. That's a Dynasty year right there.
Like, you can't get any better.
Yeah.
People are just hating. That's all it is. I thought they were a Dynasty before they won this chip. They won. So what if they switched out like certain people at different times? That was also
a 5v5
to
4v4. Like,
exactly.
that's not their fault.
Fundamentally different
It's not their
types of
fault.
It's
COD.
like it's still the same. It's still the same unit essentially, right? And last year they still got 2nd at Champs. Not like like the other Dynasty teams. The Complexity got 4th. OpTic got 7th twice.
Yeah.
It's not talking shit. It just is what it is. They got 2nd after having a good year, and then having the best year this year. Before Champs, those guys are just nasty.
The track record is insane.
Right.
It's just insane.
Yeah.
Well, and Pacman, Toronto Ultra, they got 2nd place, but they had a really good run this year as well. I think it's extremely respectable what they were able to accomplish. You bring Insight in. When you have him, you don't place less than top 3, 3rd place. And there were a couple maps that maybe swing the grand final, right? You have a 6-5 Express. You have the comeback on the Control that FaZe ended up winning. So Pacman, Toronto Ultra, they're running the year and they're run at Champs. What do you think?
Well, pound for pound, Toronto had the best year this year. Obviously, FaZe won everything, but that's like, I don't want to say it's expected, but because expecting greatness like that.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
They did what you expected them to do.
When they formed the team, we're like, what the? This is some bug.
Who let this happen?
The guy just let him go? For real? Anyways, but Toronto's team with Methods, even before this, was like, it's considered a pretty good team. And then they get Insight, and let's be honest, obviously we didn't expect this. It's like, okay, see what he can do. It felt like a sideways move. Clearly wasn't. They worked so much better with Insight than they did with Methods, and they were a top team. And I think that they really exceeded expectations, like by a lot. To get top 3 at every single tournament, LAN, online, and to be that consistent is ridiculously impressive. And they became a staple top team in the league. And it's just, there's not much more you can say about them. They were fantastic all year long, and Toronto and the players all did a great job.
I was surprised. I don't even think what you said with Methods, like they were considered a good team. I feel like, and you might actually be able to weigh in on this, no one thought that they were gonna be like on the top half of the league. I feel like there was no hype around Toronto because it was like no one really knew about any of them, like besides bands.
Well, last year they won a tournament with
They got
Methods.
good at the end
They
of
got good
last
at the end
year.
of the year.
But I felt like I could be wrong. I felt like a lot of people thought that was like almost a one-off.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
oh
I
yeah, they
agree.
turned up, but that's that.
The way they started this year,
And I
people
think
were
they
like,
had
wasn't
I
surprising.
think they went out champs early last year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like at 6th or 8th, probably somewhere around where we went out. last
So
season.
Insight, I mean, yeah, he was definitely rookie of the year, turned the team around completely. I mean, realistically, they could have won this series, like you said.
Oh,
there was
easily.
a couple close games that would have put it in their favor. And the fact that they got first, third, second, that's an unbelievable year. Like anyone will take that when you're playing in the league because it's so hard to have consistent success.
Yeah.
And I'm excited. I hope they stay together because I want to see what they can build on from here on out.
That's gotta be a ton of heartbreak though. Like it's an incredibly great year, but that's a lot of second places for them.
I'll take
yeah.
it.
FaZe in the league. You gotta know your role. You know, we might not be the
I
best,
think,
but we're
I
there.
think the worst part about like their second places too is that it's always close. Like even the finals yesterday, you mentioned how like that S&D on Express. If they win that, they're up 2-0 to start the series. That Garrison Control, they're up 2-0 on Garrison Control. If they win those 2 maps, they win the series.
Right.
Yeah.
So sneaking one of those maps out would have been so huge for them, and then could have won Game 9. And you never know what's gonna happen in Game 9, COD Champs finals. Like anything could happen.
And I think a lot of people wanted that, right? Especially
Oh,
with
yeah.
Toronto and
Not
FaZe.
FaZe
But
fans.
let's talk about Cammy really
FaZe
quick.
was
Cammy
smoked.
has been incredible for this team. So Enable, when you look at Cammy now that the year has come to a close, what do you expect from him going forward?
In terms of
His career and his performance.
I think he's only going to continue to get better. I don't know how long he's been playing. I heard about him in MW.
Didn't he go to like a BO4
BO4 champs, I want to say.
Did he?
Yeah.
Was
He was
it-
on.
so-
Was he on units with them?
He might have been. It was one of
Yeah.
those teams. I can't
I think
remember exactly.
it might
I
have
want
been
to say he was on
units.
units with
Yeah.
Which didn't go
Joe.
well, but you know,
no,
they're like
they got top
They got
6.
six.
They got top
Yeah.
6. That was a
Yeah.
good placing.
I mean, no one expected them to get top 6, and
Mm-hmm.
they got top 6 at champs, so it's definitely not
Yeah.
a bad placing for them.
Watching Cammy though, you can tell he knows exactly what he needs to do to not only be successful individually, but to help his team find success. And the little that I have talked to him, he seems like he's really down to earth, very level-headed, which is crucial because there are a lot of players that they get too high, they get too low on themselves, and that can cause inconsistency. But he just seems like no matter what happens, he's locked in and he's going to do his thing. So I think, he was definitely a top 10 player this year, easily. Probably like what?
Probably top. I would say even like top 5
top
at
5, like
times.
yeah, like
Yeah,
right
especially
there.
at the end of this year, like he really started like taking over.
Like I think he'll continue that, and I think he'll be good enough to be on Team of the Year next year. Like he will get that spot, even though he probably should have already got it. But he's one of the best players in the game.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about the team that didn't get to the grand final but got real close. Dallas Empire got 3rd. Didn't win any events this year, considering they won a handful, and of course, champs last year. Pacman, what do you think of the season Dallas had and their 3rd placing at champs? Because you had said that you thought they were going to take it all.
Yeah, this is a prediction. I mean,
Boo.
wow, FaZe is going to win. That's real tough. Way to go, Master.
My prediction won. My prediction did
Whatever.
win.
Honestly, overall, they probably aren't happy with this year, right? But I think that overall that they had a pretty decent year. They're still one of the top finishing teams of the year. 3rd place at champs is really good. You got to remember, there's a time where they were playing with Fellow, whole disaster with Hook. There's a lot of turmoil within the team at some point, and they still got to this point at the end of the season. They still finished 2nd, almost winning a major. They had a pretty good year. They just didn't close out. But I think the core of the team is still really good, and I think that if the whole year was on LAN and they got more reps with each other, they probably would have won. I mean, like look at Minnesota, they turned around and got one on LAN. Like who knows? But I think that overall, from their standpoint, they're probably looking at it as a disappointment, but it's really not. I think they played fine.
We're the 3rd best team all year, right?
Pretty much.
They were
There's times
they were
when
interchanging between top 2 and top 3 because they've got 2nd probably like twice.
Yeah.
second
I think.
twice or top
3rd
3.
probably like a couple times as well.
Yeah,
So I mean,
right.
they were always up
They
there.
just were never considered the best, right? They were never had that moment.
I don't want to be that guy. I'm going to be that guy, though. They did have a really good year, but I think when you look at their year compared to, say, Toronto, I feel like they have all the tools they could beat FaZe. And they're there. Those are the top 2 teams, Toronto and FaZe. I don't know if Empire right now has enough to consistently contend with those two.
So you think they shouldn't stick together?
I'm not saying that. Who knows? WrestleMania, a lot of crazy changes could happen.
Weird things happen.
But I think maybe they need one more piece to because they want to win, and they don't want to win just once. They want to be able to consistently be there in the finals and having a chance to win, if not winning. I think maybe they just need one more piece to do that.
For who though?
That's a tough question.
I mean, it's not, because you're not going to get rid of Shotzi.
Well, that's the pro player, dude. Who would you swap?
No, so you talk.
Well, you got to make only one move, one person.
I think that'd be considered tampering. You know, we're still
That's a good one.
You guys are the experts, so like you guys can you guys study the film. You guys watch all the matches, see how the players play. Who do you guys think experts?
I'd probably swap. I'd get Attach on there for somebody. You know, I don't know who. Nah, I wouldn't.
Nah.
You wouldn't fit well with. No, you. Come on,
Nah.
You wouldn't fit well with Crim.
Crim?
Unless you were taking Crim's
I think
spot.
he'd fit really well with Crim, actually.
Dillon's got too much sauce. I don't know, though. I don't know what I would do.
Actually, Dillon might be a good fit. They need somebody who knows how to play search right, because I'm watching Dallas lose searches. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
It was a nice ninja defuse, but
No,
everything
I'm
else
talking
about that
about-
was rough.
That last search they lost, they played the worst search I've ever seen.
It was bad. It was really bad.
Like, oh my God.
The sad thing, though,
Yeah.
Illy was playing really good in S&D all
I'm not even talking about Illy.
No, I know, but like the 0-7.
Yeah, I mean that's just a tough way to go
Yeah,
out.
like,
People are only gonna remember that.
Yeah,
But it
people
wasn't-
were cooking
if
him.
you
He was
watch the
playing
map,
great all weekend
He was
long.
getting left in the shitty situations over and over and over and over.
Yeah,
It
I
wasn't
know.
like he was
But I
going
think
out there getting
only
toasted.
probably like 2 or 3% will actually be like, oh yeah, he was in the shitty situations. The other percent are like, this guy's terrible. He dropped a donut. Like,
They were on Twitter dropping the James
literally,
Bond.
and
They don't care.
you're only as good as your last map. So that's how everyone's gonna see it. Like, no matter if they got second, third, whatever, even if they won and he dropped a donut, he still dropped a donut. So he still would have been like, you know. But to go out on a tournament like that, that just has to hurt because everyone's just gonna be they're gonna hold that over you.
Yeah, well, Dallas did end up taking third, but a very respectable season to be sure. Let's talk about your guys' opinions, finals MVP. So we know that aBeZy from Atlanta FaZe won that, but Attach, in your opinion, was there someone that was an MVP for you?
It would definitely have to be between aBeZy and Cellium for sure. I would probably say aBeZy just because running an SMG and doing what he does is a lot more difficult, and he's just never really got an MVP yet, and he could have very easily won multiple MVPs up until this point. So I'm glad Tyler finally got one. I think everyone in the community can agree he's been deserving an MVP, and to get one at Champs in the finals, like that's perfect for him. And he had an incredible series. He's very impactful. Probably one of the top. He has to be the top 2 players the past like 3 years of COD. So yeah, I'm glad he got one.
Correct me if I'm wrong. He's the only one on the team that didn't get an MVP this year, right? Like, because you know how they have the stage MVP?
Cellium got stage something, didn't he?
Stage 4,
Alec got
right?
one,
Alec
and
got
like
one,
stage 3, I think,
yeah.
or stage 2.
Simp won the whole year's MVP.
Or no, that was
So yeah, I think aBeZy was the only one at that point who actually
Yeah,
got
only-
something.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's deserved one all year long. I do think that MC should have got it, Cellium. I mean, he was playing.
He had a 1.21 overall in the grand final.
He was playing.
They had very
phenomenal.
similar like kills. Like their kills were
Yeah.
very similar, like their stats.
But
They were.
I don't like. You can't go wrong with giving it to aBeZy. Like I said, he's so unique. He's literally no one can do what he does. I feel like, at least as consistently as he does it. And he should have had at least one already. So I have no problem with them giving it to him. And actually, I kind of like it because I feel like the whole team, like, you know, well, I've never been in a situation where like the whole team's got an MVP. And now you're just
That's next level,
yeah,
bro.
you know what I'm saying? But
like, yo, we're
Just
gonna-
keep
we
giving
gonna
it to
get-
the same person, please.
We gonna get you an MVP, man. We're gonna get you an MVP.
But so like they won, not only getting their second rings together, but like him getting an MVP, everyone on his team showing him love. It was probably a fantastic moment for the kid. So I'm happy for him.
I mean, with the people he has on his team, he's never gonna have the highest KD or the best stats.
Yeah, it's
at
gonna
the
be
end of it,
impossible.
it's never gonna happen. So, I mean, when are you gonna give it to him if you don't give it to him now? Especially with how he turned the series around, basically. Like the 6-5 Express, he's the reason they won the map.
He was going.
He was going nuts.
on that
Exactly.
Express.
He's the reason they won the map. So
Yeah.
you say that, and Toronto's up 2-0. We're not even talking about MVP because Toronto just goes on to wins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In the next raid, he's the one that was lighting their ass up to start.
Both raids.
Both raids. He
Both
started
raids.
out
Him and Simp
lighting-
went crazy.
They were going nuts. And then at the end of the map, I saw Cellium pass them both in kills. But honestly, if you watched it, aBeZy and Simp were going crazy, and they were like,
They set it off.
They set it
They
off.
set it
and
off.
then Cell's gross and does his thing. But I mean, aBeZy's been if not the best player, second best player. Like,
I mean, I think
like
we can
Dillon
all
said.
agree too. Like just running that SMG role, it is more difficult than
yeah.
running AR.
It reminds me of sorry to interrupt you. It
I was
reminds
just
me
saying,
of
he's nasty. Like how consistent he does
It's
that
hard.
hard of a
aBeZy's
role and
nasty.
how
Nah, yeah.
good he is. Like, I mean, he's just disgusting.
in the World War II season. I remember TK won back-to-back chips, and Kenny, who in everyone's eyes is the best player in the game, basically, didn't win any of the MVPs because his main ARs would have better
He
stats.
got robbed. Yeah, he
Yeah,
got
I know,
robbed.
but I'm like, it's like, how does this guy not win? Just because at the end of the day, whoever it is, not that they played poorly, that have 1.2s and he'd have a 0.99, and you just can't give it to him on paper. But everyone's watching like this guy's gross. And that's
Like
my-
he's doing it. He's
It's not
doing
about
it
it's
all.
not about
He's-
the impact. It's about the numbers.
Yeah, exactly. So aBeZy definitely deserves it.
That's why I ain't never get an MVP.
That's one of the reasons.
So now that the season has come to close, Cold War is over. I'm gonna need you guys to pull your knowledge from the whole season and give me your standout moment from everything. The one thing, and maybe you can get away with some recency bias
That's
if you want to
tough.
use champs or something, but is there any moment from this season attached that maybe sticks out to you personally?
Probably reverse sweeping Ultra in the finals of Major 5.
That's a good
That
one.
was pretty crazy.
That's a pretty good one.
That was
Pretty
mid.
crazy.
You know, making history.
And then, aside from that one, because I feel like that's gonna be like the obvious one everyone's gonna talk about, it has to be the 1v3 from accuracy. That was just like, I've never experienced a moment where I'm just
about
like,
that.
dude, we just lost, it's over. And then I just see him get 2 kills. I'm like, oh, he's about to get traded, right? And then victory just pops up on the screen. I was like, what? And I'm just like holding my head, I'm like, whoa.
That
was
would have
crazy.
been crazy to like witness, like be
To
playing.
live through.
Imagine if that was
The
at
emotions
LAN.
of losing.
Yeah,
man.
you're like,
And like
"Ah."
that would have been wild.
Imagine at LAN.
Yeah.
The crowd would have just been like,
I would have.
No, I think the crowd would have freaked out no matter
Oh,
what.
yeah.
Even
Like,
online, we were like, what the hell just happened?
I would have dove into the crowd that was on land. No, Lamar would have went rogue. For me, and correct me if I'm wrong, my memory is a little bit bad, but it would have to be stage 2 in the finals. I'm pretty sure Ben Bance had a perfect SND game. I think it was Express SND where he went 10-0 or something.
it was
I'm
something like that.
I'm pretty sure because that was, he got player of the stage or whatever. But for me, him in the finals, they were the heavy underdogs at that time. And he, first off, he played phenomenal that whole major. But having that perfect game in like, you know, one of the most stressful situations ever was huge. And they ended up going on to win. And Ben's got a lot of praise. That's my guy. So that's my standout moment of the year.
Honestly, mine would have to be outside of the server. I think it's after stage 2, I believe it's when it happened. And one day, Dallas Empire had a match, and they won the match. And then at like midnight, they tweet out,
Oh yeah, it was so weird.
Hook is benched and we're moving forward. I'm like, wait, huh? And this is like, usually I feel
Tia
like
was going
like,
crazy at midnight.
yeah, I
that
feel like
day.
I've heard of these things happening before they happen. Like someone will tell you, some of your friends or someone will tell you. But this one, I was like, wait, what? I'm asking people that I know. They're like, I don't know what the hell's going on. Because
I think that was everyone. Like someone, I was streaming or something, and someone was like, "Oh my god, he got." I was like, "Nah." What?
I thought they got hacked. I
Actually,
thought they got hacked.
actually, I have a funny story because we were
Expose 'em.
my team was at the movie theater. We were seeing the new Demon Slayer movie, and Dallas was there. I think Crim was there. Other people were there, and so like
I'm sorry, the key got
mid movie, people were like, "Yo, like check Twitter." I'm like, "You got benched." We're like, "Yo, Porter, what happened?" Like, it was crazy. Like, cause I was just shocked. I didn't even really start paying attention to the movie. I was just like, "Yo, I gotta read Twitter. What's going on?"
Put her down with the shut the fuck. I'm trying to watch the movie.
trying to watch Demon Slayer.
I'm still waiting on that video, by the way.
It's never coming out
I am interested to like,
to know
because
his
people are gonna, rumors are obviously gonna happen, you know. But I would like to know what actually went down, what
too.
transpired, you know.
I want to know from both sides, but I know Kyler's side, kinda.
I don't know, no side.
And then Crim's side, I mean, they obviously did what they thought was best for the team, but it was just weird because at the time, everyone considered Hook their best player.
He crashed my bars. That's the video.
That's what someone at Champs was screaming at him that they were gonna key his car.
No
Yeah.
way.
People are
Yeah.
crazy.
So
That's just
when
weird.
Illy got
It was
up,
Kyler. I'm sorry.
no, it was when Illy got up and screamed at the crowd, like or whatever day it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
There was a fan in the crowd who was yelling at Crim that he was gonna key his car. And then Illy got up and yelled at him, and that's why Crim was like, "That's my son."
I
Can't
did
help
like
but
that.
yell
I
at
did
me.
like that.
Yeah.
You gotta stand up for your team.
The nice Batman and Robin
Stand up
picture.
at a car.
Yeah, stand up for the car.
All right, Attach, let's talk about you. Minnesota ROKKR, you guys were able to bring back the first ever win for your organization, and you made history again as one of the most clutch players ever, and being able to do the first 0-4 comeback to win a major. So how do you feel about how your season's gone, and where are you at personally?
We definitely had a rough start to the season. I think we got like bounced first round at the major. We played Toronto. Before everyone knew Toronto was like absolutely disgusting. Or they were still like good. Then they made that switch after. And then major 2, I think we had another poor one. Major 3, I don't even remember. Was accuracy I think major 3?
I think it was major 3.
So I think we placed like 4th there, so like it's decent. And then major 4, we lost to London 3-0. And that's when, you know, we had to change some stuff up. And finally we were able to go to LAN in major 4. We had an all right showing. We got like 6, beat a Pick 'em New York team that lost to OpTic and FaZe. So that was kind of disappointing. And then after that is when like we really stepped it up. We went to the LAN. We saw that we just weren't playing up to our potential, and that's when we went back to basics. Like we were talking about like role swaps and everything, and I'm just like, guys, like a role swap isn't changing anything. We just have underlying issues, the fundamentals. We're not doing the fundamentals. Like we were getting in a setup on hardpoint, and then we would just sprint around and just disperse on the map, and then they break the setup, and they would get the time. I was like, yo, hardpoint's a lot more fun when you get a setup and you just hold. They have to run at you and try and kill you. You're just sitting there posting up, getting free kills, free damage, and points. And then that's really what we worked on leading up into Major 5. Just the fundamentals, the basics, working together, using teamwork.
I mean, it showed. You guys got a lot better, especially in hardpoint. I wish I would have got the veteran Dillon on my.
I was just gonna say that.
When I teamed with him, it was none of that. It was, we're not getting enough kills.
That's literally what he said.
We're not killing enough. Like,
I
you
was a
could
young
tell
buck.
you were a young buck. Now you're the OG, you're old head.
I
But
can't believe it.
That's crazy.
because I'll be honest, I didn't, not that stage 5 was a fluke, because I've been saying you guys deserved it. Like, you looked absolutely phenomenal. You guys dominated everyone. But I wasn't sure you guys were going to be able to, like, I guess, keep that consistency in hardpoint specifically. I think you guys did. Like, you guys improved in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
You got hot at the right moment.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, when you guys got what, 4th?
4th, yeah.
I know you know, after winning stage 5, you want to go back to back, but to end the year on a 1st and a 4th, especially with how the year started, where you guys were at and how much you guys improved, it's a successful year.
There you go.
Tongue twister.
Man, where was that? When I teamed with Dillon, we lost a 2K and he sent a
forgot
big
you did.
text and he goes, why can't you guys get any kills? But it was like over.
Listen, to be fair,
Same thing over
to
and
be
over.
fair, I was literally like a junior in high school during that time. I was literally, what, 16, 17? Like, come on.
Now he's breaking it down. Guys, when we hold this setup, we look here, don't
But yeah, back then I was just like, yeah, man, get some more kills, run around, gun some people, like slide in the blitz point.
Honestly, we need more from our 4 bars.
That was 18. That was 18. You know, still young. Cap, he was in the East Coast. He's Google Fiber, Verizon Fios, whatever it was at the time. And he just wasn't giving me anything. I was on a 3 bar. He's on a 4 bar. And he's not giving me anything.
I'm on your side. I agree with
Anything.
this. You got it.
Dillon is an entertainer.
And I was on West Coast. What do we got? AT&T or Spectrum out here, like
Spectrum.
320.
This
I need
has
something
been
out of
it.
my Google Fiber players.
He's been waiting to get this out for years. You should. This is all coming out.
Yeah, just
No,
air
I
it
mean-
out, get it off your chest.
It's on YouTube, man. It, videos did well. I was almost like 100K views.
They do well. They
And
do
Cap absolutely roasts the shit out of me after. He goes, Dillon, you think you're hot shit? You had the .9 on Sunday versus OpTic in the finals. Like, he roasts the shit out of me. So it was great though. It was good memories.
So what about Standy? He comes in, he is in discussion for Rookie of the Year. Did you expect that level of quality from him when you guys brought him into the roster?
Definitely not. I mean, whenever you're picking up a challenger or an amateur player, you never know what you're gonna get. They might be disgusting at Call of Duty, but they might not be the smartest outside of game or able to learn in game. And the best thing about Eli is that he's not only disgusting inside a game, he's very smart about the game too. And the best part is he can learn. So when we first got him, he was still just as good. But up until this point, he became more of like a team player and more just impactful on the map. And you just seen him like be just a nasty crackhead SMG 20-year-old. And now he's like just overall good across all game modes, works really well with the team and brings a lot and he has really good communication as well. So he honestly is amazing and he can just keep on getting better and better because this is only his first year and he only got to play 4 majors. 4 majors, I think.
4 majors, yeah.
So like he came in halfway through the year, and to see our team turn around like that, and to see how much better he got us, and how much he improved as well, I'm just excited to keep on working with him.
How rare is it to find someone like Standy who not only has the talent when he's holding the controller, but also all the other parts
rare.
of the whole?
But, I mean, because the thing is, there's a lot of players out there that aren't in the league that can shoot really straight. You know, they have all the mechanics, but they aren't self-aware. They're not like a sponge. Maybe they're too egotistical where they think because they can shoot straight and get a lot of kills that they're doing the right thing. And that's why there's some players that do get the opportunity to play in the league, and it's short-lived because of that. But players like Standy, I actually was talking to Cellium about it, and RJ, the assistant coach of FaZe, was saying the exact same thing about Cellium that Dillon was saying about Standy, where it's like in the beginning, you could tell the kid's talented. You could tell Standy was talented right from the jump, but you could tell he was kind of missing certain things on the team aspect. But as the majors went on, he got so much better. And you can tell by watching his POV that he is learning. He's taking in all the knowledge from Dillon. I know Lamar was on the roster for a little bit, just from the vets. And that is rare. That is rare. You need to have that if you want to be able to really make it.
Yeah. And to stay at
exactly.
And to stay at that level and just keep improving for sure.
And he seems like a good kid.
Yeah, he's
like,
a really
he
good
seems
kid.
like I don't know, he might be a little cocky behind the scenes, but you got to be as a competitor.
No, yeah, you have to be. He's definitely, I wouldn't say cocky. I mean, he's confident.
Confident,
That's what you got to be. But outside of the game, he's really cool too. Like I always mess with him.
He's chill.
He reminds me of like me when I was younger. Like we'd be going around just making zombie noises
Such your little bro.
in restaurants.
Oh, God.
But inside the game, I act kind of like, the old head. But
Don't get me
outside
started,
the game,
Katie.
outside the game, I'm still a young kid at heart, even though I'm getting up there.
But he's unbelievable. I'm excited to see how he does next year, especially having this year to really get comfortable, not only in game, out of game, doing content. So it should be a good future for him.
Yeah.
So I would be remiss to not mention another first that happened at this Champs, the fact that COD is now the first person to win Champs as a player and as a coach. So Attach, you've spent a lot of time playing with COD. You've known him for a very long time. So what's it like to see that happen to someone that you know so well?
I'm just super happy for Chris orMes or COD. He has 18.
Many names, many
He
names.
has 18 different
Replays. You got his name jacked.
He has so many different aliases. But I'm just super happy for him because he's honestly the reason that a lot of us are here. He took a chance on Tommy, Zuma, took a chance on you and Ghost for a little bit, took a chance on me in the beginning of AW, and he's just always given, even Nicky D, classic, he's given so many people opportunities because he's always had an eye for talent, and then he wins COD Champs, retires, comes back, we win a tournament, so he's retired then won a tournament.
He's different.
Then he goes to coach FaZe and wins another world championship, so I mean, he deserves it, and he's just so quiet about it too. Like you never will see him talking about. If you talk to him, you wouldn't know that he's successful in any way.
And
He would never mention anything.
I hate
He's
it.
too humble.
He's too
Literally.
humble. It pisses me off. When you look at his track record, right? As a player, he got first at a COD Champs. He got third in World War II, right?
Yep.
As a coach, he has 2 seconds and a first.
Just winner.
And he retired and came back. I feel like people don't talk about it.
Yeah.
He literally retired and came back to Call of Duty.
If you
Who
retire,
else has done that?
it's hard to come back. And I don't think
but
anyone's...
that means. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say I don't think anyone else has done that and won, right?
And won.
And won.
He retired and won. He retired in
I mean, I
BO3.
think Clay retired at some point. He didn't play the whole time.
Did he?
Wait, when did Clay
Think
retire?
about it. He wasn't playing Black Ops 1 and all that.
Oh, well,
How's that not
I wasn't
early
around,
days,
so
bro. That's the
That's
early
fair. That
days.
still counts. But regardless, I get your point, and I think that is a testament to how much people just like him. Like the fact that he was able to retire and then get back on a team like FaZe
Friendship
Yes.
League.
as a player. Well, I mean, you guys won, so it couldn't have been all friendship, right? But yeah, but also friendships are important too, like networking.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's a good guy to be around. So
Yeah.
that's also important for young players to note too. It's not always just how good you are and how nasty and correct you are. If you're just annoying, you better be like the best player in the world.
Right.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you're not, no one wants to be around
Yeah.
you. And there's players I can think of easily off the top of my head that applies to. I won't say their names.
Do it.
No, but we've all been around people like you just don't want to team with again, even though you understand that they're good.
Yeah, we all have been.
Hey, he just admitted that I was that guy at one point, though. And then when I wasn't.
I walk in his room, I'm just
wasn't.
stepping over Whataburger bags. I'm just like, yo, it is a dungeon. This guy's a hoarder.
I was out the mud, okay? Air mattress
Air
for a whole
mattress
year.
for a year. Yeah, we didn't care.
All right, so really quick before we wrap everything up, I want to go down the line. I'll start with Pacman. What do you want to see for the Vanguard season?
I want to
That's a lot.
see,
Busting
Honestly,
doors down.
are we talking about the game specifically or the league?
Whatever you prefer. If you have a
Okay,
preference.
well, I want to see at least 4 new complete rosters and staffs just all wiped. London, Paris,
Squad wipe.
LAG, Seattle, everything's squad wiped. That doesn't mean those players individually aren't in the league
Seattle's
somewhere.
working on it already. So.
Yeah. I don't. It's nothing against individuals. It just obviously those situations don't work, and they cause boring matches, boring games, boring competition. And I'm sitting here watching all of them, and I want it to be better. There's so many talented players, so many good players that aren't in the league. Like, you guys can do better. I want all those teams to be better.
I like it. Enable, what do you got?
I want to see a different format. I don't like. I love how they made this one like kind of huge group up until champs, but I don't think teams should get that bye. I don't think teams should start in losers bracket. I would love to see 16 teams. I don't know if we're gonna have an expansion this year. I just want it to be more competitive. I want like more matches. You know, FaZe won champs in 12 14 maps.
Yeah.
I played 11 matches. I played like 36 maps in Black Ops 4 just to get second.
Yeah.
Like, but you get more storylines throughout the year. You get more rivalries. Like, it's just more COD to watch. I would love for them to somehow find a good middle ground in terms of, I know what they need for production and stuff like that, but also for the fans and the players.
I like that. Attach?
My number one, I think this is mostly everyone's number
Enable
one.
back. Enable comes back.
Maybe. You still got it, bro. I've been watching your streams. But
Splitgate.
That's my guy right there. That's my guy.
number one, next year all on LAN. I think that's the
that'd
most
be nice.
important thing, because I feel like we kind of saw how much fun everyone was having again, and how good the matches were. It kind of just felt like, even for me, it was tough to play online for a year and a half. And I know it was the best situation we could do because of like the situation we were given. But it just felt so good. It felt like a breath of fresh air, like I was a kid again, like going to events and playing. So hopefully all on LAN. And then number two would probably be the format, like you mentioned. Even at COD Champs, it didn't even feel like COD Champs for me, to be honest. Like, we lost to Dallas 3-0, we're like, damn, that sucks. But then we like bounced back a little bit. But it just didn't feel like COD Champs.
Right.
We only played a couple matches. So hopefully we can play some more Call of Duty. Because when you win 3-0 or you get 3-0'd, you're just like, you get into that zone finally after, like, yo, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to play more COD. And then you have to wait a whole nother day to play
You're done
another
for the
match.
day.
So I just want to play more COD, because we all grew up playing at least three matches a day at tournaments. So just more Call of Duty, please.
I like that. And I think on that note for me, I would love to see a little bit more support or emphasis maybe on challengers as well, because we all know how important that challenger scene is. New talent coming in is what helps keep a league and an esport fresh. So whether they're even just putting on B streams, C streams, even if there's no casters, just allowing people to be able to watch those in a kind of a structured format, I'd really like to see that as well, because I know it's never going to get the views that CDL itself does, but a lot of people want to be able to watch what happens in
The
challengers.
right people will be watching it.
Yeah.
And I guess another thing would be outside of the game, like if they had a good ranking system to work up, a rank system, oh my God, that would be so incredible.
Yeah,
That'd be
so
so
hopefully,
incredible.
fingers crossed. We have all our wishes.
I would do some things for that.
I'm giving up on that one.
But that's going to do it for us for Reverse Sweep for the Cold War season. It has been such a pleasure to break down everything with you guys, to get all the wonderful back and forths between Enable and Pacman and our incredible guests like Attach. So thank you so
Thanks for
much
having
for
me.
joining us. As always, let us know what you think in the comments, and we will see you next year for Vanguard.